Hi everyone. Today we are discussing about antidiuretic hormone which is also called as vasopressin, its analogs and antagonists. What is ADH? ADH is an antidiuretic hormone known as 8-arginine vasopressin. It consists of arginine amino acid at 8 position. This vasopressin is a polypeptide hormone released from the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland along with oxytocin. The main effect in the body is to conserve water. They reduce urine volume by inhibiting the water excretion without affecting the salt excretion. Because the vasopressin and its analogs they conserve water, they also called as antiaquaretics.
Let us see about the synthesis of vasopressin. This is hypothalamus. Just beneath the hypothalamus, we have a pituitary gland. In pituitary gland, we have two lobes. This is anterior lobe and this is posterior lobe. There are many nuclei in the hypothalamus. Two nuclei involved in the synthesis of vasopressin. One is supraoptic nucleus and the other one is paraventricular nucleus. The major quantity of the vasopressin is synthesized from the supraoptic nucleus and a small quantity of vasopressin is synthesized from the paraventricular nucleus. After synthesis, they are packed in the storage vesicles. They travel along the axon terminals and reach the posterior pituitary lobe. In posterior pituitary, it is stored till the stimulus for release comes. So, from the picture, it is clear that ADH is synthesized in the hypothalamus and is only stored in the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Now let's see when vasopressin is released. Main stimulus for release comes from osmoreceptors located at organovasculosum of lamina terminalis and the subfornical organ. In conditions like rise in osmolarity or fall in water concentrations like dehydration conditions, sensed by osmoreceptors, they send information to supraoptic and paraventricular nucleus, and from there the impulse pass to the axon terminal causing exocytosis and release of vasopressin in the blood circulation. Let us see how they are going to act. This vasopressin, one of the natural antidiuretic hormone which can act on two types of receptors. They are classified as V1 receptors and V2 receptors. These V1 receptors are present in vascular, bladder and uterine smooth muscles, liver, platelets and CNS. These V1 receptors are further classified into V1A receptors and V1B receptors. V1A receptors are responsible for vasoconstriction and increased force of contraction, which is a positive inotropic action. V1B receptors are responsible for increased ACTH release. So these V1 receptors are not related with the renal functions of the vasopressin. These V2 receptors, which are present in the principal cells of the collecting duct, they are responsible for the antidiuretic activity. So this vasopressin, through these V2 receptors, they exhibit the antidiuretic activity. Let us see the mechanism of water reabsorption. This is the apical membrane, this is the basolateral membrane. Whenever there is increase in osmolarity, it stimulates the release of vasopressin. This vasopressin acts on V2 receptor. These V2 receptors are the G protein coupled receptors with 7 transmembrane units with alpha, beta and gamma subunits. When vasopressin binds to the V2 receptors, it activates the alpha subunits, stimulates the adenyl cyclase, helps in conversion of ATP to the CAMP levels. When increased CAMP levels in the renal tubular membrane, stimulate the protein kinase A. This protein kinase A is the phosphorylated enzyme which produce gene transcription and protein synthesis. They are going to produce proteins called aquaporins present in the vesicles. They are released and arranged in the apical membrane of the renal tubule, which are responsible for the absorption of water. So the water molecules are reabsorbed into the circulation through these aquaporins. Pharmacokinetics of vasopressin. Vasopressin is orally inactive because it is easily destroyed by trypsin, can be given parenteral route or intranasal application. Plasma T-half is short approx 25 minutes, but the action of aqueous vasopressin lasts 3 to 4 hours, can be given intravenous, intramuscular or subcutaneous administration. Classification of antidiuretics. It can be studied under ADH and its analogs, natriuretics and miscellaneous. Under ADH and its analogs, we have vasopressin, desmopressin, terlipressin and lipressin. Under natriuretics, we have thiazides and potassium sparing diuretics like amiloride. Under miscellaneous, we have drugs like carbamazepine, which is an anti-epileptic, chloropropamide, which is a sulfonylurea, and indomethacin NSAID. Vasopressin can be derived from two sources. Either it is from human or bovine, consists of arginine amino acid in the 8th position. It is called argipressin. Similarly, vasopressin derived from the porcine. Pig has lysine in 8th position. It is called lypressin. Desmopressin, which is an analog of argipressin, is more advantageous when compared to vasopressin. Desmopressin can be given oral route, whereas only the injection forms available in case of vasopressin. This desmopressin is having longer duration of action, whereas vasopressin is having only the shorter duration of action. Terlipressin, which is a prodrug of lypressin, can be used in case of the esophageal bleeding. This terlipressin is having the more vasoconstrictor effects when compared to the antidiuretic activity. Lypressin is having the longer duration of action, same as desmopressin. Clinical uses. Desmopressin, which acts on B2 receptors, are indicated in case of diabetes insipidus, nocturnal enuresis, and bleeding disorders like hemophilia and von Willebrand disease. Terlipressin, which acts on V1 receptors, used in case of esophageal bleeding because of vasoconstrictor effects. Vasopressin, which acts on both V1 receptors and V2 receptors, they are indicated in case of asystolic cardiac arrest, postoperative ileus, and abdominal distension.
Adverse effects of vasopressin. Cardiovascular side effects include chest pain, agitation, tachyarrhythmias, bradycardia, and myocardial ischemia. These cardiovascular side effects can be minimized by the intranasal route of desmopressin, and other adverse effects like biliary colic, abdominal cramps, nausea, nasal congestion, and discomfort, hypertension, and back pain also occur.
Fluid retention and hyponatremia may develop with use of vasopressin. The symptoms of vasopressin are due to the shift of the water intracellularly, resulting in cerebral edema, producing headache, mental confusion, nausea, vomiting, and even seizures. Contraindications include ischemic heart diseases, chronic nephritis, and psychogenic polydipsia. Second class of antidiuretics is natriuretics. Under natriuretics, we have drugs like thiazides and amiloride. Thiazides paradoxically exert antidiuretic effect. They reduce the glomerular filtration rate, and high doses of hydrochlorothiazide is indicated in case of pituitary origin of diabetes insipidus. Amiloride is a drug of choice for lithium-induced nephrogenic diabetic insipidus because along with blocking action of sodium, also blocks the lithium entry. Under miscellaneous, we have chlorpropamide, which is a sulfonylurea, reduce the urine volume in diabetes insipidus of pituitary origin. Carbamazepine, same as chlorpropamide, indicated in case of diabetes insipidus of pituitary origin. High doses of the carbamazepine, they exert the antidiuretic effect. Indomethacin, they reduce the polyuria by reducing the renal prostaglandin synthesis.
Till now, we have seen the vasopressin analogs. Let us discuss about the vasopressin antagonists.
Vasopressin antagonists, these are the Vaptan drugs. Their main mechanism is to block the vasopressin receptors V1A, V1B and V2 receptors. Their action is preventing water absorption and increase electrolyte free water clearance. V1A receptors are responsible for regulation of blood pressure and V2 receptors have effect on renal function. Drugs and receptors include conivaptan, acts on both V1A and V2 receptors. Relcovaptan is a V1A selective. Nelivaptan is V1B selective. And V2 selective drugs include lixivaptan, mozavaptan, satavaptan and tolvaptan. Uses of Vaptan drugs. These are the drugs acting on receptors and potential uses. Conivaptan, which acts on V1A and V2 receptors, used in case of hyponatremia and congestive heart failure. Relcovaptan, which is a V1A selective drug, used in case of Raynaud syndrome, dysmenorrhea and preterm labor. Nelivaptan, used in case of the depressive disorders. And under V2 receptors, we have drugs like lixivaptan, used in case of SIADH, cirrhosis and congestive heart failure. Tolvaptan indicated in case of hyponatremia, congestive heart failure and polycystic kidney disease. Mozavaptan used in case of hyponatremia and satavaptan used in case of hyponatremia, cirrhosis and congestive heart failure. Contraindications of Vaptan drugs include hypersensitivity, anuria, alcoholism, osmotic central pontine myelinolysis, which is a neurological disorder, occurs after too rapid medical correction of hyponatremia, liver diseases like cirrhosis, and conditions like hypernatremia and hyperkalemia.